Keep it up. I dare ya.
I am the Overlord.
Why? Oh dear God, why, Stork? Have you not put your glasses on? I was hoping he would pull them out during the intro and just kind of flip them on like, hey, just kidding, but no. Stork is going glassesless in this game against freaking Flash. What are you doing, Stork? You trying to kill me? Trying to make me die of a broken heart? You son of a... Why, God? Why have you forsaken me? Go, Flash is doing his trademark thing. He's drinking his motor oil. Come on, Stork, come on, glasses. But it's not over till it's over. This is Stork versus Flash, the Clash of the Titans, on New Bloody Ridge. Now, Stork has taken Flash to school on Bloody Ridge, but not New Bloody Ridge. So, let's see how things have changed. Why? I don't have any ice cream. Might have to buy some later. Why? Except, down at the 8 o'clock position, in yellow, is Dino Toss, a.k.a. Storky, a.k.a. Nope. Still doesn't have his glasses on. I was half expecting it. There was like a little glimmer of hope in my heart there for a second, but nope. Nope. Oh, dear God. So this is a two-player map. Flash is up at the 2 o'clock position in red. Okay, let's get the necessary things out of the way. How about some predictions from the Nukenites to start things off? Here's one from M. Tardiboo, whatever that means. Writes, as long as Stork doesn't bring the cheese, Flash is going to bring the pain. Go, Flash. Why are you doing this to me? You're just burying the hatchet deeper into my chest, man. Here's one from... Oh, here's a good one from I Am Jack's Revenge. Writes, Stork will crush the life out of his opponents with the might of 1,000 rainbows and unicorns. That's what I like to read. Here's another one from Jacob Julin. Writes, I can has Flash versus J-Dong finals? No. Here's another one from Triclops1. Right, StarCraft gods, have mercy on Stork and Hyuk. Let them move out of this dark round. Also, wow, what the... That is a great drawing of Flash there. Dear sweet God. But Flash is walling off inside of his main. Let's continue with that prediction. Yeah, StarCraft gods, have mercy on Stork and Hyuk. Let them move out of this dark round. Also, please let Flash, J-Dong, Jangbi, Baby, and Fantasy move out as well. Thank you for bringing us your son, Nuke. Amen. I like that for some reason. Okay, we got the predictions, and there is... Oh, God, the assimilator coming up for Stork, and he is putting down his cybernetics core inside of that main. So he isn't going for cheesiness this time. That's how he beat Flash the last time on this map, I believe. I believe that was before it was New Bloody Ridge as well. In the Pro League, he did the quad damage build by building a bunch of gateways in the middle of the map. Which, whoa, Flash is going for a command center. He's going to float over his command center instead of building it at his natural expansion. He knows that he might get cheese, so he wants to make sure that doesn't happen. He's playing pretty safe, actually. But okay. Yes, that is kind of neat. But yeah, another reason that Flash probably built his barracks on the choke would make it a little bit harder for a probe to come in and steal the gas, because he didn't want to have his gas steal this time around. I think Stork did that to him last time as well. But the Dragoon range is spinning. Stork could always cancel that once he gets rid of the Scout. But it was spinning off of 2 gateways, so there's probably going to be a heavy Dragoon build, which Stork normally does. But alright, I'm going to give you the Who's Screwed, Who's Not So Screwed score sheet for this before these guys start attacking each other, which probably won't be too far off. Alright. The Who's Screwed, Who's Not So Screwed score sheet. If Flash wins, Flash is almost guaranteed to move out. He might get caught in an upper rung tiebreaker If Shine beats Flash and if Hydra beats Stork, that would tie everyone at like 2, and that would be an upper rung tiebreaker for both spots to move out of the group. And Stork will have to rely on a lower rung tiebreaker. Flash will have to beat Shine, and Stork will have to beat Hydra in day 6 to do that, to force the lower rung tiebreaker if Flash wins this game. So, not a great situation for anyone. Not a great situation for Stork if he loses this game. Obviously, he will be at 0-2. Very tough to move out of a group once you're 0-2. But if Stork wins this game, everyone is tied at 1-1, meaning the winners of Day 5 and Day 6 will move out into the round of 8. That would make for a very interesting Day 5 and 6. Yeah, the winner between Shine and Flash and the winner between Hydra and Stork, those are the two who would move out, which would be very interesting, very exciting. I love it when that happens, when everyone's tied and then they have very exciting final games in Day 5 and 6. But looks like Flash has snuck by, actually, to get the full scout on Stork. He didn't see anything over next to that other pylon, so he can probably assume that Stork is going to expand pretty soon. Didn't see any additional tech from him inside of that. Flash is doing a good job of repairing his bunker at the front. Has a Marine or 2 in it, I'm sure, to keep these Dragoons away. And Stork is going to have a couple more Dragoons in pretty soon. He might go for a tank snipe if Flash is not too careful. I'm sure that Flash is going to have his tank out soon. He's building 2 factories, in fact, both with machine shops. So this is going to be a pretty aggressive attack from him. He's going to get out tanks, and then he's going to get out vultures and have mines ready to go and try to apply a lot of pressure to Stork's front door. But Stork has quite a few Dragoons at the front now, and he's just waiting for that tank. He's waiting for the opportunity, and Flash knows he can't get too close with the tank. He's got to get close enough to threaten, but not close enough to get this tank. Oh, he's got the siege, just waiting for the siege. Might as well. Had to pull a lot of SCVs off the line here, but Stork is going in for the tank snipe. He's going to try to take out this tank, but the Dragoons kind of glitched there. He took out the tank, though. Lost a Dragoon in the process, but that is a very early loss for Flash, losing that tank this early in the game. I'm surprised that Stork pushed it like that. A bit cavalier of him, wearing his contacts and whatnot, but he's getting his 3rd Nexus up. This is a double expand from Stork. He's expanding up as quickly as he possibly can, and this looks a lot like Stork's build against Flash on Heartbreak Ridge a couple of OSLs ago. Actually, that's probably a few OSLs ago. Was it Ever? I think it probably was the Ever 2009 OSL, when on Heartbreak Ridge, this is basically what Stork did. He applied pressure to the front, did a double expand, and then just kept Flash from attacking his extra bases. And I think it took Flash very off guard that he expanded so quickly, but I think it's a bit more predictable in this map just because the bases are so close together. I think that Flash is going to anticipate this double expand, especially after losing that tank as he did. Stork is not going to feel as much pressure on himself. He's going to say, well, he has 1 fewer tank. And Flash is using both of his factories to pump tanks at the moment. He's going to have an extremely strong tank army, as it's probably going to be for anti-shuttle play as well. You're going to have more tanks to spread around, keep off Reaver harassment and such things, since Stork loves that Reaver harassment. Yeah, he already has up his robotics facility, but yeah, getting up the observatory first is the right way to go. He's going to have observers out to spot any mines. Of course, Flash not going for that yet. The observers are pointing out that there's the machine shops are not researching, so I don't even think Flash is working on mines now, unless he got it way earlier and I didn't spot that. But yeah, I don't think that the mine upgrade would be done by now on the machine shop if he hadn't spun it. So yeah, he's just going for tanks. Lots of tanks. He's going to push out soon with a huge amount of tanks. And he's pushing right now. He's going out right now. A very unconventional type of Flash play. Usually don't see Flash do this, but yeah, he's trying to secure his 3rd base. He's using these tanks mostly defensively to secure his own base over at the 3 o'clock position. Try to get his own 3rd going. He's going to float that over, have the tanks to support it. And if Stork has a shuttle anywhere with a Zealot or 2 in it, he's going to be able to do so much damage because Flash only has tanks going. Only has those tanks. So if he does Zealot bombs, that's pretty much going to be it for Flash. Flash doesn't have his vultures out yet. Wait a minute, Stork I think Stork was researching again at his cybernetics core. Oh god, he could be going for carriers right now. He working on the +1 up. I'm pretty sure he already got his Dragoon range. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he already has the Dragoon range. So this is +1 attack for air, meaning that carriers are on the way. If Flash scans this, Stork is going to be screwed because he is going for carriers way too early. This is hardly anyone goes for carriers against Flash since he's so good at scouting it and countering it. And now the Flash has secured his third base. Man, I think the Stork should have just gone forward. Big Bulldog attack, dropping Zealots on top of the tanks. He would have been able to do it, I think, with the right Zealot bombs. Yeah, Stargate coming up for Stork already. And if Flash scans the main, he's going to know what's up. Seeing that Stargate, seeing the +1 ready to go. Stork's not even trying to hide this at all. But of course that might be part of his plan. He built that pylon so far to the right, inside of his main. Flash is probably going to scan that first, looking for sneaky hidden Stargates and whatnot. He might bypass the main, and I think that's what Stork is banking on, and that it takes Flash a little bit longer to scan inside the main. Flash might scan the brand new base over at the 9 o'clock position, think he might hide something over there, or might hide something at that new pylon. But yeah, this is going to be extremely interesting. Stork has taken the 10 o'clock base, and he's going to try to use carriers, which are pretty effective on this map with all the ridges going around. New Bloody Ridge, lots of ridges, obviously, to pick off units. But 3 Stargates coming up, so I think that Stork is going to stick on these 3 Stargates for quite a while. He doesn't have speed lots yet, but he's going to need to start dropping... oh man, I saw 2 Goliaths for Flash already. This might not be a good sign. This might be a sign that he's already scanned. Oh god. Of course, two Goliaths out could indicate that he thinks that Stork is going for Arbiters, just trying to be safe with a couple of Goliaths there. But either way, Stork using a primarily Dragoon army to fight back all tanks. And he's taken the middle, so he's going to be able to hold those little high ground areas, shoot down on the tanks as they're moving up, pick off tanks. Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job picking off tanks right now. Stork coming in with a huge amount of troops. He doesn't have any Zealots at the front to take most of the damage, though, so he loses a bunch of Dragoons, way more Dragoons than he wanted to lose there. If he had had a shuttle full of Zealots or something like that, I think he would have been able to clean up Flash's army just by dropping on top of the tanks. Flash has... the right presence of mind during battles like that to aim away from the Zealots, and probably wouldn't have caused too much damage, but either way, I think the Stork would have been able to clean this up. But he is going for a carrier build, and Flash has plenty of factories to counter that, and this might have just been bad timing from Stork, because Flash is working his way up to the 10 o'clock position, and Stork doesn't really have anything to say about it. He doesn't have enough troops to really defend that base if Flash should commit to this. I'm not sure if Flash is committing, though. He's going up, building a turret next to those tanks, of course, trying to get up close and personal. Pretty nice pylon wall from Stork there. It's keeping the tanks pretty far away from that nexus, which is exactly what he wants to do. He's trying to force Flash to pull back to his natural expansion, keep him busy long enough for the carriers to come out. But yeah, Stork is just buying time, trying to buy some time, because he knows eventually these carriers are going to be spotted, and it's just going to be bad times for him. And yeah, Stork, man, losing way too many Dragoons. And that's a big problem with Protoss players these days, just losing units like that. Units cost so much. A single unit is so important. You can't throw any away. You can't throw any away. Especially in stuff like PvZ, but it works out in PvT as well. You can't throw Dragoons away. Oh my god, Flash! He's going to do a pincer attack of Stork, forcing him up to the 12 o'clock position, and I think Stork is going to be manhandled here at the 12 o'clock. Stork is pulling in with more Dragoons, hopefully to save his units. They're force Flash to pull back a bit, but there's nothing that Stork can do here except attack and maybe try to pick off a couple of tanks before all of his Dragoons go down. He took out one tank, didn't take down anything else, just some bad positioning from Stork in this game. Hopefully his carriers turn that around, but now Flash has scouted the carrier build. He has a bunch of Goliaths pushing out into the middle of the map now. So Stork has his 4th base going, but I'm not sure how much longer he's going to be able to hold that. Now that he has 3 carriers, he's moving out. I'm going to get a 4th carrier in that clump quite a bit, but Flash is scanning, making sure there's no Dark Templar or anything annoying at the 10 o'clock position that could impede his attack. But now he's going to be able to take out this Nexus pretty easily at the 10 o'clock. So Stork still has his carriers, but he's really got to get rid of the Goliaths. He's got to focus with his ground army on clearing out the Goliaths. If he does not, he's just going to be shut down. Of course, you can get, if you get enough carriers together, there's really no way you can lose, but it takes a while for that to happen, and you got to focus on the Goliaths, which Stork is not doing at the moment. He's trying to get rid of those tanks to make it easier for his ground troops to hit the Goliaths, but yeah, now Flash is pulling back with the troops he had out, destroying the 10 o'clock. Oh, taking down carriers left and right. Flash focusing in on these carriers. He's focusing straight on the carriers. Stork, why didn't you wear your glasses? No. So Stork trying to take the high ground yet again, but Flash, I think he has amassed enough Goliaths where he can lock down this build. Oh, dear sweet God. So Flash is going to the 9 o'clock position, it seems, going to try to lock down the 9 o'clock and the natural expansion by sieging there, forcing Stork to decide whether he wants to attack Flash or pull back and defend. Either way, I don't think that Stork is going to do too well here. He has to reinforce with his carriers soon. But actually, he is getting some harassment done over at the 3 o'clock position. He's picking at that a little bit. He hasn't taken down too many SCVs over there, unfortunately. But Flash, he's scanning, making sure he can look up the high ground, focus on the carriers a bit more, and take them down. Yeah, but look at this. Flash is going to take out the natural and the 9 o'clock with ease. And the 6 o'clock is up for Stork, but there is currently no mining there whatsoever. And it's not like he can transfer over either to get past that tank line. So I think Flash has locked down this game. Reading Stork like a book. And he didn't even scout that too early either. At least I don't think he did. He might have been feigning that he didn't scout it. But yeah, carriers. Stork has kind of given up here. He's let his carrier micro-lax, which makes me think he's getting ready to GG. Because he has lost all of his mining at the natural expansion, obviously. The Nexus went down. He lost all of his mining at the 9 o'clock. He's trying to mine at the 6 o'clock, but that's probably not going to work out too well. But the carriers do have the high ground over at the 3 o'clock position. Stork has grouped up a lot of Dragoons inside of his main. He's saved everything inside of his main. Stork. So Stork is not going to do too well here. The Goliath getting the high ground advantage now, working up to the high ground of the 3 o'clock position to snipe these carriers. So Stork is going to lose another carrier to the Goliath. Ah, one carrier left for Stork. Never mind. There's the last carrier. The last carrier explodes with my heart. That's what it looks like when my heart explodes. It's just whoosh. My heart goes Stork, and then it explodes immediately. And my face melts like at the end of Indiana Jones. Just like those Dragoons, they melt. My face melts like the Dragoons, who look very much like the face melting at the end of Indiana Jones. But yeah, Stork fighting with 3 interceptors. To the tanks, none of the Stargates pumping anymore. My heart is no longer pumping either. And here comes Flash, the Death March. Hooray! We love death. GG. I have nothing else to say. Go Stork, lower rung tiebreaker. Ben and Jerry's. Okay, moving on to Group C with some despair.